Okay, let's talk about a huge update to Microsoft Copilot that's more than just an update. It's a game changer. It promises to do more than just help you, it promises to actually do the work for you. We're talking about automating the most tedious, boring parts of your job. So, let's dive right in.
First things first, a question that I think will hit home for a lot of you. Are your best, most talented people stuck doing busy work? You know what I'm talking about. Those manual, repetitive tasks that just drain energy and kill the very innovation you hired them for in the first place. This is a massive pain point for so many teams, and it's exactly the problem we're going to talk about solving today.
What we're seeing is a fundamental shift in how work gets done. The old way, right, was all about manual tasks and just constantly putting out fires, always being reactive. The new way is all about AI automation and being proactive, which frees up your team to actually innovate and do their best work. This is the big idea behind the tool we're exploring.
So how is this even possible? Well, it all comes down to one really critical idea, the shift from a simple AI assistant to a powerful AI agent. And trust me, that difference is everything.
The feature that makes this all happen is called Copilot's Action. What it does is transform the AI from a passive helper, something that just answers questions, into a proactive agent, an agent that can perform complex, multi-step tasks across the web pretty much on its own, with very little human oversight. And this is the most important part. It's not just finding information for you, it's actually doing the work.
So, if this AI is now an agent, what can it really do? Let's take a look at some of its new superpowers. You know, this isn't just one single feature, it's a whole new toolkit. At its heart, it automates web tasks. But the real power, that comes when you start creating custom agents designed for your specific needs. And because it's so deeply tied into Microsoft 365, it can, say, pull data from an Excel sheet, act on a conversation in Teams, and manage it all across different platforms, making smart decisions as it goes.
Okay, so that's the theory. But how do you actually put this to work? Well, getting started is actually more straightforward than you might think. Let's just walk through the steps.
It all starts right inside your browser. From the Actions menu, you can build an agent from scratch or, and this is probably the easiest way to start, use a template. Now, the really crucial steps are defining what the task is and setting the right permissions, controlling who can use it and what it can access. Once you deploy it, it just runs automatically. And the best part, you could start with one simple little task and then scale that success across your whole team.
Now, what's really cool is seeing this in action. Let's look at a few real-world examples to make this a little more concrete.
Okay, here's a great one for any IT team out there. Instead of having someone manually checking service status logs, you can just tell Copilot to monitor it and automatically send an alert to the right people if something goes down. This is proactive problem solving at its absolute best.
Or think about this one for a second. How much time is wasted logging into a dozen different websites and submitting the same old reports week after week? Copilot can now handle that entire tedious process, logging in and uploading the data all by itself.
And this really shows off the power of that deep Microsoft 365 integration. Copilot can basically listen to a conversation happening in a Teams chat, pull out the important project updates, and automatically update the official status sheet in SharePoint. It turns your conversations directly into actions.
So, as you can probably imagine, the impact of this on IT teams is going to be massive. And it's about so much more than just saving a few minutes here and there.
The impact here is like a domino effect. Of course, it starts with efficiency gains. That's the obvious one. But that speed also means you reduce human error, which makes your whole operation more reliable. With agents monitoring systems 24/7, your response to problems becomes almost instant. And all of this frees up your best people for strategic work, which ultimately leads to better collaboration, because everyone is working with better, faster information.
But it's not all seamless. To give you a balanced perspective, it's really important to talk about the challenges that come along with a tool this powerful.
With every huge opportunity, there's a serious consideration you have to think about. Handing tasks off to an AI means you have to think about security and compliance on a whole new level. I mean, you're giving an agent credentials and access, so defining its permissions isn't just a step, it's a critical security measure. And while it promises efficiency, somebody has to build and manage these agents, which means you have to invest in training. It's an incredibly powerful tool, but it's not magic. It takes careful planning to avoid creating a system that's too complex or fragile.
So, with those challenges in mind, let's zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture. Where is all of this really heading?
Well, if we look at how AI has evolved in the workplace, we've come from a world of purely manual tasks. Right now, we're in the era of AI assistants, where tools help us work faster. But technology like Copilot's action, this is the bridge to the future, a state of autonomous decision-making, where AI agents can manage entire workflows completely on their own.
And I think this is the single most important takeaway from all of this. The goal here isn't to replace skilled professionals. It's to take the robotic work off their plates, so they can finally focus on the strategic, creative, and complex problems that, frankly, only humans can solve. It's a tool for empowerment.
So I'll leave you with this one final thought to chew on. Looking at your own daily grind, what is the very first repetitive, time-consuming task you would hand over to an AI agent? The answer to that question, that's where your automation journey really begins.